Hey, welcome to Chicago. I'm glad to meet you. I'm here to introduce your starting feature. Whinny City.
So actually, why don't we do this first? Just in case anybody's unclear, why don't we go down the line? Everybody can say who they are on the show and what they do. So Ingrid.
I do voices. Yay. For Mod, Limestone, and Marble.
I voice Blue Bobbin, who's a little fashion pony. Yeah, this guy knows it!
I'm Ian, and I'm Sunburst on.
I'm Kelly, and I play Starlight, Glimmer, and Sassy Saddles.
I'm Andrea, and I play Pinkie and Fluttershy.
I'm Mitch, and I'm going to work on this show.
Someone remind me why he's here again. I'm kidding.
For decoration.
I can.
Mitch and I are the beard bookends on the table right now. So we're going to start the Q&A session. So if anybody has any questions that they want to ask some of our guests, children first, please. But if you have anything, we can form a short line up here. Maybe why don't we keep it about 10 or so long, and we'll kind of get some questions out of the way. Some of the burning questions you guys have had. A couple things just to keep in mind. Nobody up here is allowed to talk about anything that has not aired. So including tomorrow's episode. So any questions that you ask about next season, just anything like that, any of the rest of the episodes this season, they simply won't be able to answer. Just kind of keep that in mind. Hello.
Hi. I'd like to ask how you get started in voice acting.
Is there any particular person you'd like to ask?
I'll feel this one.
Just all of you, like how you got started in voice acting.
Well, Kelly and I were actually discussing this the other day, that we are the worst people to ask. Because we were just we grew up doing it.
We were kids.
Yeah, we were kids. For me, I went to an audition in the paper that my mom took me to, and I didn't get the part, but they said, you can go meet with an agent, and we'll let them know that you're coming. And so I got an agent, and then the agent sent me out to tons and tons of auditions, and that's kind of how it started for me.
Is that our advice? Be a precocious kid. If you're not, that's it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'd say just practicing without even really realizing that you're practicing. I sort of I just kind of fell into it, and looking back, it sort of all made sense. When South Park came out, I was young, and I was the only kid in school who was allowed to watch it. So I would show up on the Monday and do the episode for everybody.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And looking back now, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, so it does kind of all make sense. So yeah, just finding any sort of opportunities you can, even just, even fooling around with it, you never know down the line when it's going to actually end up sort of being useful.
Where were you when you performed? Because I'm just picturing you, for some reason, up on a tree stump, pedestal. I don't know why. With all the kids gathered around.
No, we were on the side of the
That's
school
just
with
me,
a
though,
TV and smoke at night.
Oh, that's appropriate for some.
It was good, yeah. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, I'd say just any opportunity you can find to, just fool around with new noises and new sounds, and coming to stuff like this is definitely a step in the right direction too. So.
The acting part of voice acting is probably the most important, so community theater is super helpful. I mean, everybody finds their way into it in different ways, but the more, I think, trained you are, the better chance you have of getting work when opportunities do arise. So do community theater, take improv classes, practice your accents, read out loud. Those are all things you can do to kind of train yourself to be a better actor.
All right, thanks for the question. Hello.
That mic is too tall.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
How many more seasons are you gonna have?
It's going on forever.
Through the magic of fan-created content, it probably will go on forever. So.
But thanks. Hello.
Was it like for you when you started out voice acting?
Scary.
What was it like?
It's definitely very spooky to kind of be that new person in the room, especially when the room is filled with amazing veterans like Kelly and Andrea.
He paid her to say that. Good job.
I was really lucky because my episode of My Little Pony was one of my very first jobs. And I got to be in a room with people who were willing to teach and be really very generous with me. But it's definitely nerve-wracking, but it's crazy fun.
Everybody's very, very nice. I have yet to meet one mean voice actor. There's time, I guess.
There's one right here.
I'm nice. I have a secret list. I used to bring something into the room with me to make me feel calmer because I was so nervous all the time. So I would bring like a flower, and then when I was scared, I'd be like, hold the flower.
I totally agree. I would wear the exact same headband to every single session, like it was like a good luck charm.
Yeah, I have a sweater that I wear.
Really? Those are so cute.
I didn't mean it in a condescending way.
She's mean.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like your applejack.
Hello.
I think this was easier to put down than it is to bring back up. Anyway, hi! First of all, I want to say I really loved all of your characters, especially in the last couple of seasons, with Starlight and Sunburst coming on so strong. I love both of them. Blue Bobbin is adorable. Everything and that lesson that Limestone Pie taught the other week was beautiful. And Fluttershy lately has been so amazing.
Oh.
But my question's for Mitch.
Because I was about to leave, so.
Well, I feel like it's my responsibility more than every time I see you. But, no, okay, so I've always been kind of curious because one of the things, especially when you have a fandom like us, while we are loving, we also, we know what is and what isn't canon. So, how much does that factor into your writing process of the going back and looking for continuity and that reality of when I put this on paper, it becomes canon and everybody's going to judge that?
I don't think about that too much.
That explains, no.
It's there's such a disconnect between when the script is written or when they do what they do and when it actually airs that a year has passed. So any kind of those concerns, it's already in the distant past, you know. Yeah, I don't really think about that too much. And that's not how it works, or it worked in the early days. The fans would just find these little seams in the show and create their own things out of that, right? Create background characters into real characters. It wasn't anything I did, or the other writers. It was just you guys finding those things, so.
All right, thank you, and thank you guys all for coming.
AV, just give me a signal when you guys are ready. Just... Hi.
Hi, this question is for Ingrid Nilson.
I like your rock boulder rock.
It's a geode.
Color
They're gonna have you sign that in about an hour. I just couldn't put it in my pockets. I wanted to ask you actually if you, like Maud, also like gems and minerals.
It's funny you should ask, as I did in my bag. I showed them to Little Spike earlier, but I do carry. I have like a whole like precious stone collection. So right here, I have an amethyst mounted on a kyanite.
My name is Amethyst.
Yay! Oh my goodness! It was meant to be. And right here, I have. It's kind of smoky, but it's a rose quartz. So yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm actually obsessed.
You are now my favorite pony.
What's your name?
Amethyst Rose.
Amethyst Rose, you rock.
Hello. My question is for Andrea, and this is from a question from a friend who couldn't be here at the convention because she likes you as her favorite pony. She's wondering what your favorite episode to work on.
I don't know. Maybe it's this one. Maybe if I had seen it, I would know. No, they're all good. You know what? I think the more larger the cast, the more fun it is to work on, because it's just great energy in the room and lots of amazing, talented, and funny people. So that's my favorite. The bigger cast, the better. I don't know, what's the biggest cast episode? 100? That one was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So, I'm Larson. With Fame and Misfortune, I wanted to ask how often did you ever get those things, get any of those critiques right into your face? And,
Like right now.
I'm about to do it some other way.
and how often did, and how many more things did you want to include that you didn't get to?
The short answer is I wanted to include an entirely different episode. I had a very different ending in mind, different beginning in mind, different middle. I was overruled on every stage. I've had a few of those directly said to me. Yeah, it's always funny, especially if it's an episode I didn't write. Then I just agree with them. Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
Hi. My question is for all of you. I know, Andrea, your characters were the only ones who appeared in the movie, but any of you can answer this. What's your favorite song from the movie?
Yeah, the only one. The villain songs are always
Open up your eyes.
Yeah, they're always fun. What's the one they sing on the ship? That one's great too.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think mine is Rainbow. It's just so beautiful. And Sia did a great job.
Yeah, she did.
Did you get to meet her?
No. I know. Maybe you did and you didn't even know. Ooh. Can't tell what she looks like under all that hair. She could have just been like,
She's here right now.
lady walking.
She's on the
She's still with
stage.
that. Kelly's like, I'm Sia.
Ingrid, do you have a favorite song from the movie?
It's a little early to say. I have to narrow it down.
Okay. Thank you.
Andrea, the question I have is, in your many trips to Disneyland, how would Fluttershy and Pinkie react to being on the Haunted Mansion?
Ooh, pretty! Scared.
Kind of a tough question for all of you to answer, but what would you say is the biggest difference when you compare the first few seasons to the last few seasons, like all of the episodes?
I'm in it now.
Mitch is gone.
The writing is seriously declined.
Hello. This one's for Kelly. What was it like to voice Starlight?
Oh, it's fantastic. Wow, that's such a big, I don't know, how do I answer that? She's amazing. I love Starlight. It's awesome to have played a character that has grown so much and has all of these quirks and quibbles and contradictory. And it's the best. It's the best.
Alright, thank you.
Hello. I have a two-part question for Ingrid. The first is Maud's personality something that was pre-prescribed to you, or were you able to take some creative liberties with that?
Ooh, well, I feel like Maud is my inner voice. When I'm watching the world, I'm like, oh, okay. And then when my outer personality is more like Pinkie Pie. But when I received the character description, I think it was like something like flat or monotone, but she's not actually, but she still feels things. Something like that. It's a long time ago since I got the character breakdown, but yeah, something like that.
My second question was, which one did you relate more to, but you kind of answered it. You relate to both?
Yeah, oh, Pinkie Pie or Maud?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, bit of both, yeah.
Any of the other characters would you say are like you?
Which ones?
Marble or any of the other ones?
Oh, I mean, sometimes I feel shy, sure. And then I also relate to Fluttershy. I like animals. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On Twitter, I know you two going at each other's throat. We could eat
How about chocolate? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. No, we're actually on the same team.
Yeah, we are.
How do you put one up to each other in the dark and the dark?
What did it say at the end? What was the last part?
In the darkest of the dark.
The darkest of the dark. I bet that, was it 99%?
That's what you said.
I had the 99%. What do you have there?
These two for you.
72 and an 86.
Oh, that's pretty high.
We had a little Twitter competition about like who would eat the highest percentage dark chocolate. Because I had 99 and it was vile. And I loved it.
I wonder what Pinkie Pie would do if she ate the darkest one.
Oh.
Did you say it in Pinkie's voice?
I ate all the chocolate! It's gone!
What was your ceiling? You had a percentage and you go above. Dark.
I have 88%,
88.
and that's sometimes it's a little,
Bit much.
yeah.
But then there's people like Josh Haber, be like milk chocolate. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
enjoy your life.
All right, I have a question for Ingrid and Andrea. I was wondering if Ingrid, if you could portray Pinkie Pie, and if Andrea, you could portray Maud.
Rocks!
I just love party planning!
Hey guys, so I have a request for Kelly. So fans have pointed that Starlight and Twilight share similar voice attributes. So I was wondering if you could say the classic lines, "Dear Princess Celestia" as Twilight Sparkle.
Oh my goodness. No one is Tara Strong, so I'll give it my best shot, but... Dear Princess Twilight.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? Okay, this is for Ingrid. Are you familiar with the character Daria? Because she acts very similar to my Pie, and I was wondering if you ever grew up watching that show or not.
Actually, yes, and I love plaid skirts.
I also always wanted to portray this.
Aw, thank you. That's so sweet.
You'll be signing soon.
This is for Ingrid, and I gotta say it was so cool seeing Limestone back. I'm just curious on how you did the voice of Limestone, and yeah, up to you if you can hear a little.
I'll be honest, it's not the easiest voice. For a long time I had to drink lots of tea with lemon after.
So how did you come up with Limestone?
I think she was just supposed to be really mean. So yeah, that's another side of me, I guess.
You're not jealous.
No, I'm not jealous at all. What are you talking about? Heyo.
I'm looking forward to a career of cartooning and voice acting, but I wanted to talk about, story writing, M.A. Larson, the backbone pony fella. Do you have any advice on writing a good story for a cartoon?
My favorite thing to do is try to surprise yourself when you're writing. Particularly cartoons, a lot of stories are very samey, right? You've seen the same episode on this show, and this show, and this show. So if you can actually surprise yourself while you're writing, then you will surprise whoever's going to read it too.
I have a pretty crazy mind. It's hard to surprise myself.
It is really hard because it's your own brain putting the words out. but sometimes it happens. Like the line that Andrea did, where she says, "And that's how a breaststroke was made." I wrote that, and I was like, "Whoa, that's funny! I didn't expect to write that."
Good job.
Yeah.
So
it happens.
basically improvise and see what happens.
Improvise in your own head while you're typing. Yeah, yeah.
Thanks. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
I also do what I think you guys probably do, and I didn't even realize it until I was at Starbucks, but like I like act while I'm typing. Like I'll do the faces and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, I'm doing that.
All right.
You know what I like? Whatever the emotion is, I'm like,
This one's for Kelly Sheridan and Andrea Libman, by the way. Kelly Sheridan, you and I met at Ponycon 2017.
Oh, we did?
Yeah!
Nice to see you again.
My question is for both of you. Now, both of you, before My Little Pony, for those who didn't know, you were on another girly cartoon that I personally like called Care Bears. And you play the roles of Harmony Bear and Surprise Bear, is that right?
That's right.
So for those who are wondering, tell us what that was like.
Harmony Bear was the worst bear.
No. You were on the piano. I remember like in your childhood, you used to be on the piano, you loved singing.
Well, that's the thing, because all she did was sing, every single line, but there was no music. So I would just have to show up and make up tunes for every, like, she would never talk like this. She'd go, I'm talking right now and I'm Harmony Bear. And they'd be like, oh no, could the tune be a little bit more uplifting? That's my job. So it's really difficult. So I shouldn't have put down Harmony Bear. She's awesome, but it was very difficult bear.
Yeah, I love you too, Harmony Bear.
Surprise Bear just basically popped out of things and yelled, "Surprise!" Like, that's all I did. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Hi, this one's for Kelly. It's for Starlight. What was the original character description, if you remember, that they gave you to go off of?
You probably know the answer to this because you look sneaky. The original character description was, and you probably wrote it, was a cross between Jim Jones and Dolores Umbridge. For those of you who don't know, Jim Jones was the drink the Kool-Aid cult leader.
she nailed it too, right? You can hear she nailed it. Little Dolores Umbridge in there.
Some evil underneath, a lacquer of phony niceness.
I also just want to say thank you all for coming out.
So my question is for Ingrid. So, if anything, if there's anything that could ever make Mod Pie snap and just yell at whoever, what would that be?
If you dress Boulder in a bunny suit.
Will do.
All right, I had a question for Ian and Caitlyn with our first convention. How'd you find out about the fandom? What made you want to come to one of the conventions?
So I'm a huge cartoon nerd. So I had actually seen the first 4 seasons of My Little Pony before I even started auditioning for it as a voice actor. So when I got on the show, I was really excited. And as I kind of knew what the Brony community was, because I've always gone to conventions as like an attendee since I was like a child, because I was a huge weeb in my teen years. And I thought it was amazing that so many people, like a fan base that they weren't expecting, could come forward for this wonderful show that was so well done, and it was just overwhelming, really. It was wonderful.
For me, the first episode I actually did was an episode called The Hooffields and the McColts, where I was like a guard. I think I was McColt guard number 2. And,
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. And I had just started sort of doing this, and I told some friends of mine we'd like gone away for the weekend, and I mentioned to them, I said, you know, I got a job doing an episode of My Little Pony. And one of the guys at the table went, "You're doing an episode in season 5?" And everyone at the table went, "Huh?" And so, like, I had known there was this big sort of fan community around the show, and then sort of you realize how close it is to you. So seeing that connection and seeing how sort of far-reaching it was, I had to come. This is just too cool, right? Like, yeah.
Is anybody here cosplaying as Field Guard number 2?
Tomorrow.
My question's for Andrea Libman. In terms of episodes where Pinkie Pie or Fluttershy had the main role, which episode would you say you had the most fun working on as either one of them?
They're all pretty fun.
I agree with that too.
What's your favorite?
My personal favorite is what's it called? Keep Calm and Flutter On, because that established Fluttershy and Discord's bond. So that's one of the things I really appreciate about it and enjoyed about it too.
Nice. I really like Party of One.
I really like Pinkie Pie.
Oh, that's a good one too. Thank you.
Yeah, they're all great too.
I didn't write any of those, guys.
100th episode?
My question is for Kelly. What was it like for your character of Starlight Glimmer to transform from kind of a villain to a good pony?
Good.
I gotta admit, like when your character first started, I didn't really like it because it was so mean. But the transformation from then to now is like total 180.
Yeah, that's fair. She was not nice.
But what was it like for you to transition to that?
Oh, it's super fun as an actor to play a character that changes and goes somewhere. Like, that's all an actor ever wants. It's not terribly exciting to play a character that just sort of keeps making the same mistakes over and over again, or never learns anything. So I think it was really exciting what they decided to do with her. And her, she didn't have this, she had this aha moment at the end of season 5, but then it wasn't like, smooth sailing from there, I figured it all out. Then we got to see her struggle and make mistakes and fail and learn, and now she's helping other ponies and creatures. So I think it's fun. It's really fun.
You've provided a lot of drop jaw moves.
I like though she still has her little bit of Starlight snark in there. There's still, that core character where she tells it like it is. Which is super fun.
This time I got one for Andrea. Since I know you said in previous cons, like you saying fun, fun, fun over and over as Pinkie Pie was hard, would you say it was harder when you had to say, while crying, I'm the real Fluttershy from To Where and Back Again, over and over and over again? It's a finale.
I don't remember that being.
Oh.
Doesn't stick out like fun did. Fun was just unrelenting.
So I guess that answers my question.
Yeah. I have a bad memory. Hi.
For Andrea and for Ingrid, if your character's pets could talk, how do you think they would talk to you? Like, how do you think their characters would be? If your character's pets could talk.
Didn't Gummy?
You did talk to
Gummy talked. Well, Gummy thought.
Did he end up? We did like 10 different versions of that. What stuck?
In the script, Gummy had a French accent. But
Yeah, he did that. Yeah, it was really good.
what's his name?
It ended up being like a Stephen Wright kind of thing. Didn't it? Ended up being sort of a Stephen Wright dry kind of deal.
This is what Boulder would say.
Rock on.
Thank you.
This question's for Larson. When you got the job for My Little Pony, were there any other offers on the table? Or was that
you kind of take every job, basically. So I was already working on a show at Disney Channel. I asked Lauren if I could be on the show. It wasn't an offer to me. I was like, demanded. Hire me, please. And then I got another job on another show at the exact same time called Symbiotic Titan. Started both those at the same time. And I was convinced that was going to be the massive show that I was going to go to conventions for. So I used my pen name on My Little Pony. And now, here we are.
Thank you. So I have a question for Caitlyn and Ian. So when you were talking to some of your coworkers and people that have been to these cons before, were there any pieces of advice that they gave you about just your first Ponycon? Or also possibly, is there any advice that you wish they had given you?
We definitely got the Purell advice. A lot of people means a lot of germs, means you'll probably come home sick. So just wash up a lot.
Yes. And don't be offended if you just do the bump instead of a full-on handshake.
Fist bumps are love.
I got the, don't forget, they don't have to wake up early, but you do. That advice was given to me, which I will attempt to take to heart, but we'll see what happens.
And then on the flip side, for everybody else, is there any advice you think that they should have that they may not have gotten yet about just the Ponycon experience?
Drink giant water bottles. I get dehydrated because I talk a lot at these things and I talk louder than I usually do.
You're already pros. You guys, you already get it.
Okay, so real quick, I just want to, you guys have probably noticed my AV guys just absolutely scrambling and sweating and probably slipping on their own sweat.